Well, South African civil rights activist travels to Washington to sound the alarm about his country's radical turn to the left. One America's John Hines has more from Washington.
Ernst Roots, an activist lawyer for AfriForum, Africa's largest civil rights organization, told One America News that the South African government is complicit in theft of land and acts of violence and murder against European-descended farmers.
The debate in South Africa is largely about...
You mean expropriating?
Yeah, expropriating property. It's largely about, the debate at least, is largely about farms and the claim that white people in South Africa own too much land and it has to be expropriated by the government. On those farms, there's a serious problem with violence. People being attacked by criminals and criminal gangs and oftentimes tortured to death. If you look at the levels of brutality, it's disproportionately white people who are being targeted.
In fact, Roots says since 1991, at least 2,000 white minority landowners and farmers have been murdered, more in recent years, and some 20% of those have been tortured before being killed, all of which is documented in gruesome detail in Roots's book called Kill the Boer, Boer referring to members of the white Afrikaner-speaking minority.
You could make the argument that the South African government is complicit. The ruling party, at least, is creating a climate in South Africa in which violence towards minorities is romanticized. So you would have some of the most influential politicians in the country having public rallies, and then they burst into songs singing, for example, Kill the Boer, Kill the Farmer, or One Settler, One Bullet, or Dubula Ibunu, which is a Zulu song, which means shoot the Boers. And then the Boers would be shot.
So Roots is speaking out. And although Roots believes the apartheid system of decades ago had to end and is grateful it's gone, he says the U.S. played a significant role in leading towards the current system in South Africa and therefore has an obligation to act.
The system that was put in place is one in which too much power is given to the ruling party. The ruling party actively, they don't describe themselves as a political party, they describe themselves as a liberation movement, as a Marxist-Leninist movement that want to further a revolution in South Africa. And many countries in the West, not only the US, played a particular role in pushing for this particular system. And we are hoping that people could realize that the system as it is has some serious flaws.
Despite the expropriation of privately owned lands, Roots says opinion polls reveal a majority of South Africans actually support private property rights. John Hines, One America News, Washington.
Want to see more videos like this? Click on the link below and subscribe to One America News on YouTube. And call your cable provider and kindly demand that One America News is added to your lineup. Call and subscribe today.